Hey big thinkers, this is Jason Orban with Think Big Studios Tip of the Day. Today's tip of the day is failure, about failure. You know, not letting failure hold you back. There's been a great kind of movement on the internet lately about not letting failure stop you. Thomas Edison tried 1,000 times, tried 5,000 times before he invented the light bulb, and not giving up, letting your mind persist and drive you towards your goal. I was watching a video the other day. It was on TV, and it was actually on Sunday. It was about these BMX bikers. It was from Nitro CIrcus, kind of like a Red Bull kind of thing. But they had a little documentary on about these two BMX bikers who were competing to do the first quad flip, so 4 flips in a row through the air, right? One of the guys was the first guy to ever accomplish doing 3 flips, the triple flip. He hadn't even done a double flip when he said, I'm going to do the triple flip. I'm going to be the first in the world to do it. And then he did the triple flip, and then other people were like, wow, we can do a triple flip. Everyone else started doing triple flips. So next they came out and said, like a few years later, he's like, I'm going to do the quad flip. So him and another guy were both working hard to do the quad flip. And, you know, a lot of the stuff they went through, this is like a couple-year process to actually figure out and build the ramp and the techniques to be able to do a quad flip through the air, which was fantastic, which was like, and they just didn't give up, right? There's so many things that set them back. They still had to work. They were part of Nitro CIrcus, so it's like this great big huge extreme like kind of like monster truck show on bicycles, on motorbikes, on little wheelie boards and stuff like that. It's really cool. So one of the things which really impressed me is one of the guys who was, I think his name is Jared, he broke his ribs 4 times while trying to accomplish the quad flip. The first time he went up, he had it all set up, he was going on the airbag, had everything planned out perfectly on the airbag. Finally, they took the airbag away, just built the ramp. I think like the second run he did, cracked his ribs. He was out for 6 weeks, you know. Came back about 2 months later, said, okay, let's try this again. Second time jumping that time, cracked his ribs in the exact same spot. And he's like, okay, well, second time, this sucks. We'll try it again. I'm a little bit defeated, but let's keep going. You know, 2 months later, he was back there. I think his first jump that time, he cracked his ribs and broke more ribs, you know. So then he's in hospital again, getting down. He's like, this really is starting to suck. And then the other guy he was competing with, they decided to join forces, and they said, okay, well, we're going to do this together. They both got together and said, okay, today we're going to do this jump. Again, he was second guessing himself because of how many times he had already cracked his ribs. 3 times in a row that he had done this, and it shattered his ribs. So he's second guessing himself about how far away to put the ramp. He said, okay, I think this ramp needs to be 4 feet closer. And then he's like, oh, well, maybe we'll move it 2 feet back. So he moves it 2 feet back, does his jump, and you know what? He lands 2 feet back. And you know what happens? Exact same thing again. Breaks his ribs for the 4th time. And you know, at that time he was completely out. But he didn't give up. And I think about trying to do something, and each time you try to do it, you break your ribs. That's pretty difficult. The guy that he was working with never broke his ribs, but was trying just as hard, had everything all set up, and he did something really cool too. He was trying to do it on the airbag, doing it on the airbag, said, you know what, I can't get it on the airbag. Let's take the airbag out, and I'm just gonna do it right on the ramp, and let's see what happens. You know, he did that 4 times. On the 4th time, he hit the flip. He was the first guy in the world to do the triple flip. He ended up being the first guy in the world to do the quad flip. Completely impressive, but just the power of not giving up. You know, it's a couple-year process. Everyone's working really hard, and you have a bunch of setbacks, but you know, it's not giving up. So today's tip of the day is, don't let failure set you back, because the more you persist and the more you try, you're going to achieve your goals. So think big, do big, grow big. Like, comment, and share. And wow, it is hot in this place. I'm sweating. We'll see you guys on the next video.